Welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Smackdown Live review for the date of April, what fucking day it is today? May 2nd, what the fuck, I'm still in April. May 2nd, 2017. I'm still in fucking April over here. I'm still imagining that it's raining all over the fucking place. But no, it is May. April showers bring May flowers, and unfortunately, here tonight's episode of Smackdown did not blossom like we expected it to. Here tonight, not much going on, and it seems to be same thing with SmackDown. Good show, bad show. Good show, bad show. Same thing with Raw. Good show, bad show. Good show, bad show. Back and forth. They really need to build some fucking consistency with these goddamn shows. Because it's this week, oh, we're going to put some effort in. The next week, oh, we don't give a fuck. Next week, oh, we got to fix our mistakes. And I mean, this lack of consistency, it seems like every show that Shinsuke Nakamura's on is good, and every show that Shinsuke Nakamura's not on sucks. Because here tonight, SmackDown wasn't a bad show. There just wasn't anything too exciting going on SmackDown Live. And you can't expect there to be anything too exciting going on a show every single week. I mean, you can't put on a fantastic show every single week. Some weeks there's just gonna be a lull where you're trying to build things, but it's gonna be a very slow build, and that's what we got here tonight on SmackDown. By no means was this a bad show. There really wasn't many bad things on this show, but there weren't many good things on this show. This was a mediocre show. They really did not go out of their way to pique your interest or buzz the eye with something exciting. It was average. There was no match that was over fucking just, whoa, what did I just fucking see, like there was last night on Raw, because Raw last night would have been shit if it wasn't for the fact that we had that fucking great main event, and that really buzzed up the overview of the entire show. But here tonight we just got nothing really exciting. Nakamura, they're using him every other week. I like that. I really do. You had slow storyline progression. You had the rematch here tonight between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens won the United States Championship back here tonight from Chris Jericho. Makes me wonder why he ever even lost it in the first place. We'll talk about that later in the review when we are in that section. But really nothing too exciting on SmackDown Live here tonight. But there are exciting things going on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. What a segue, bro. What a segue. Make sure to go check out all the other things going on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure to go check out my Monday Night Raw review. Doing pretty fine. This is a fairly small channel, so if you want to help out, a subscription would really put a smile on my face. A like if you like what you're hearing here. If you want to go check out my Monday Night Raw review, went up straight after the show. We do Raw and SmackDown reviews every single fucking week. And of course, Behind the Mic went up last Saturday. We're talking about Brock Lesnar defending his Universal Championship at the new WWE pay-per-view. Great balls of fire. Like I said last night on my Raw review, whoever came up with the name for that pay-per-view needs to have their balls set on fire, bro. Because that's a terrible name for a fucking pay-per-view. Meanwhile, SmackDown's getting Money in the Bank. Monday Night Raw gets great balls of fire. Bullshit there. But we're talking about it on Behind the Mic. We cover all the weekly news going on in the WWE on that show. So make sure to go check that out. Some exciting news there. And Payback, WWE Payback. We had a pay-per-view last Sunday. I uploaded a review for that. So if you did not catch that, make sure to go check out the review for WWE Payback. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like, make sure to comment, what did you think of SmackDown Live here tonight? And make sure to subscribe. For now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what happened on SmackDown in depth. Let's go into that segment-by-segment review of SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live here tonight. They were in Fresno, California here tonight, and the show here tonight. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. No Randy Orton here tonight either. No WWE Champion on this show. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. No Randy Orton, but it does make sense. He's recuperating from the effects of the House of Horrors. I mean, in WWE's fucking kayfabe universe, it was a brutal match. So you would expect Randy Orton to be healing from the repercussions of entering such a brutal match. So it does make sense that Randy Orton was not on the show here tonight. Other names that weren't on the show, of course, Shinsuke Nakamura, who is a talent who I'm liking what they're doing with him on SmackDown every other week, not making him get stale every other week. I like it. Shinsuke Nakamura is the type of talent that you need to treat with delicacy, and it looks like SmackDown Live, the right place for Nakamura to be on, is treating him with that very same delicacy we all wanted and needed Nakamura to have. So I like it. SmackDown doing the right thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. We will see him next week. We will. So for all you complainers, oh, this guy hasn't been in a match, oh, this guy's on SmackDown half the time, blah, 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 blah. Just have some patience, and when you do get to see Nakamura, it feels special, and it makes the entire vibe of the show more exciting, more special, so just remember that. Anyways, moving into the show, there was a segment before we actually went to the arena. It was Jinder Mahal. He had to pass over the WWE Championship to Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon also announced here in this little segment that Mahal would face Sami Zayn here tonight, and that was a match we saw later in the night, so we will discuss that. But we do go to the arena, and Shane McMahon comes out. He quickly introduces the newest member of SmackDown Live, that being Chris Jericho, who won the United States Championship. Again, boggles my mind, but who won the United States Championship at Payback. He comes out to huge Y2J chants, and he says that he's giving you what you want and what you need, because this is the new show of Jericho. Smack it down, man. So that's what Jericho's fucking saying here. Shane McMahon says there are many men that want to face him, but tonight he will be defending the U.S. title in a rematch against Kevin Owens. That was what this show was pretty much built around. That immediately brings out the face who runs the place, AJ Styles. AJ comes out and he says that a lot has changed since him and Jericho last met, since they were on the same show. Styles informs Jericho that he is standing in the house that AJ Styles built. AJ Styles recalls that they had Y2AJ shirts together, and how he would love to take that U.S. title from Jericho. That is, if he is still U.S. champion by the end of the night, which he actually was not. Jericho then asks, Jericho assures Styles that he will beat Owens tonight, as he had Owens tapping out at Payback. Jericho then asks Styles if he knows what happens when you doubt that Chris Jericho can beat Kevin Owens. You know what happens, man? And as he's about to put AJ Styles on the list, none other than Chris Jericho's arch enemy comes out. Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out saying that tonight he will take back his U.S. title. He tells Styles to get the hell out of the ring because he has nothing to do with the situation at hand. And that pisses Styles off. Owens is on the ramp. Styles gets out the ring, goes down the ramp. That starts a brawl between the two. That takes us into the commercial break. And that would be actually the final time that we saw AJ Styles here tonight, because after this brawl, when we came back from the commercial break, they announced that AJ Styles would be banned from the Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens match And that just ended the night for AJ Styles. So AJ Styles was banned from that match, and he did follow those rules in the match we saw later in the night in the main event spot, may I mind you. Anyways, we move on to Jinder Mahal versus Sami Zayn. Jinder Mahal was accompanied here by the Singh brothers. They come out of fucking nowhere and they helped Jinder Mahal. They actually accompanied him here tonight. And this was a pretty decent match. I mean, any match with Sami Zayn really can't be that bad. And it was a decent match. It was a showcase match for Jinder Mahal here tonight. And it was not that bad. It was a pretty decent match here tonight. But in the end, Jinder Mahal did not win clean. He did win with the help of the Singh brothers. When Sami Zayn, he got his roll of momentum here tonight. When Sami Zayn was looking for the haluva kick, one of the Singh brothers pulled Jinder out, and they were on the outside. Sami was going to go for his dive onto the outside, onto both of them, but the other Singh brother caught Sami's leg. That distracted Sami, and that allowed Jinder to come up from behind and hit him with the sleeper hold slam. So Sami Zayn is not able to get his comeuppance from the six-pack challenge a couple weeks ago. And, that's really a thing that brought this SmackDown Live down for me here tonight. I realize Sami Zayn really has not won a fucking match since coming in to SmackDown Live here. I mean, he really has not won a match. He really has not won a match. He lost a triple threat. He lost a triple threat for the WWE Championship, or the United States Championship #1 contendership. He lost the six-pack challenge. He actually got pinned in that. He got pinned in the triple threat that we saw with him, Baron Corbin, and AJ Styles. Last week, he wasn't in a match, but he did come out in a losing effort to Baron Corbin. It did start a feud with him and Baron Corbin, and him and Baron Corbin are going into a feud. Do you really expect WWE to allow Baron Corbin to lose? And he put over Jinder Mahal. I don't care if it wasn't fucking clean. He put over Jinder Mahal here tonight. So Sami Zayn, yeah, he's been doing some great work on SmackDown. He was doing great work on Raw, at least in ring. I mean, Sami Zayn is great in the ring, but he's really not getting that momentum that I thought he was going to instantaneously get on SmackDown. He really is being used to put other guys over when he should really be being used to he should really be prime talent that they're using. They're trying to get him over, not he's trying to get other people over. It makes no sense to me. So it really is unfortunate that Sami Zayn, at least for the time being, I know there's a month till the next pay-per-view, and after that, Sami Zayn will probably get his time in the limelight, but I mean, at least for now, Sami Zayn really is not, he does not have any momentum, and that's really unfortunate to think about for me. So hopefully they can start giving Sami Zayn some wins. Hopefully they can put him in a couple matches where he does come out on top, because he still has not won yet since arriving at SmackDown Live. And that is something that concerns me, at least for now. So we'll see what they do with Zayn next week, but it is very concerning that Sami Zayn has not yet won a match on SmackDown Live. He's been taking a lot of pinfalls recently. We go to a backstage segment. We see Becky Lynch approach this new stable called the Welcoming Committee. Whoever came up with that one, again, needs to be welcomed out of the fucking building in Stamford, Connecticut, because that is a terrible fucking name for this fucking stable. Jesus Christ. This stable's not going to last for long. I doubt it. I mean, you're really not going to build the women's division around the stable, are you? I hope not. But we see Becky Lynch approach this new stable of Natalya, Tamina, and Carmella, and James Ellsworth, too. They can't forget James Ellsworth. This guy's, fucking officially part of the women's division at this point. Becky Lynch, she approached them, and Natalya quickly says that they are trying very hard to protect Becky. But she really isn't obliging, because she was talking shit about them on SmackDown Live last week. She says Charlotte really doesn't deserve a title shot over Becky. After all, Becky was the first draft pick for SmackDown live. So if anyone should be getting a title shot, it should be her. That's what Natalya's telling her, filling her mind with all these thoughts. Becky says that she never thought of it that way, and that she will think about it. So that's leaving us with that cliffhanger for later in the night, and we will discuss the segment where all that went down here tonight. Becky Lynch actually appeared on SmackDown here tonight to actually follow up the storyline that they were building. Last week, she was in a backstage segment, and you really didn't see her for the rest of the night when both Charlotte and Naomi were being attacked. But here tonight, that was followed up with, and we will discuss that segment later on. Anyways, we move to another backstage segment, and Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler that is, was talking shit about Shinsuke Nakamura, who he says hasn't proved himself yet, but they are still censoring a pay-per-view around him, Backlash that is, because on all the promotions they have Backlash and Shinsuke Nakamura's faces on it, looking great. Those posters looking great with Shinsuke Nakamura on them, but Dolph Ziggler's complaining about the fact that this guy hasn't even had a match yet, and they're promoting this guy all over the place. Shane McMahon is listening to Ziggler speak behind him, and Ziggler speaking to a bunch of fucking nobodies, but alright. And Shane McMahon is listening to this guy, and he finally speaks, and he tells Ziggler that his name is Shinsuke Nakamura, because Ziggler kept calling him that guy. What's wrong with that guy? Why does everybody love that guy? That's what Ziggler kept saying. But Shane says that Nakamura proved himself last week when he made Ziggler flee from the situation. You remember that confrontation. Great segment there last week. But Ziggler is left still thinking that he needs to win a match to prove himself, Nakamura that is, and that he's going to show what he can do against Sin Cara later in the night. So that is a match that happens later in the night, and we will discuss that later as well. But we move on to Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. Aiden, we just come in and he's fucking singing in the middle of the ring. Some beautiful fucking singing from Aiden English. Just wonderful fucking voice this guy has. But, of course, you expected it. I believe this has already happened, hasn't it? Where Ty Dillinger just came out and interrupted Aiden English and beat him. But, Ty Dillinger, he comes out in the middle of the singing from Aiden English. He interrupts him, and the match begins. It ends very fucking quickly. It was a squash, and he hit English with a new finisher. That was the most notable thing about this match. He hit English with a new finisher. Ty Dillinger, of course, no need to mention this. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. All over the fucking place, bro. You don't even need to fucking mention it at this point. He was fucking over. This guy is over as hell. Probably the most over guy besides Nakamura on the SmackDown roster. Probably most over guy on the Raw roster too. So this guy is fucking over. The Hardys might be more over than him. But besides the Hardys and Shinsuke Nakamura, this guy could be the most over guy on the roster. And they really need to capitalize on that. Why isn't Ty Dillinger in a feud going into WWE Backlash? I mean, you can't find somebody for him to fucking feud with, a small feud going into Backlash. I mean, Aiden English. Have Aiden English build him up a little bit. He was left without Simon Gotch. I mean, when Ty beat him with this new finisher, which was similar to the tiebreaker, but instead of doing an AA onto the knee like he usually does, he spins the opponent from the fireman's carry position into the knee, which looked fucking beautiful, by the way. Why not build up Aiden English? He was left crying in the middle of the fucking ring. He was crying like a baby in the middle of the ring. Why not have this guy unleash this new, or turn this sadness and depression into a new harsh persona and have that be a match? Make it longer, obviously, at Backlash. Instead of being a squash match, have Aiden English be much more competition. Give them 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm sure it would be a great match. I'm sure Aiden English isn't bad in the ring. I mean, we really haven't had a chance to see him in the ring because he's either been part of a tag team with the Vaudevillains, or he is being squashed, like we saw tonight, into, or maybe even less than that, minutes. So that's all we saw of him tonight. Ty Dillinger as well. I don't know why he's not in a feud towards Backlash. He'll probably be on the pre-show or some shit, and he'll come out and squash somebody. I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Ty Dillinger. I mean, I think we're gonna have to wait till after Backlash for Ty Dillinger to finally start being put in the ring with guys like AJ Styles and Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. I think we're going to have to wait till after Backlash. I feel like WWE still wants to be in that phase where they're just having this guy being familiarized with the crowd. So he wasn't on SmackDown last week. He was this week, and he was the most over part of SmackDown here tonight. No doubt about it. This backstage segment here with fucking Chris Jericho was just absolutely hilarious. Chris Jericho is about to be interviewed until Aiden English, he walks by crying. And at first, Jericho's trying to cheer him up. He's like, oh, life's good, man. I mean, look at you. You got a hairy chest. You have a beautiful fucking voice. And you're doing good for yourself. I mean, life is good. And Jericho is condoling him, or he is consoling him. Jesus Christ. But he's consoling him, and Jericho's being pretty nice to it. But then he breaks in to the fucking gimmick, and he's like, you know what happens when you cry on Chris Jericho's new show? You know what happens when you walk by Chris Jericho's backstage segment and interrupt his interview with Ronnie, who he was fucking calling Renee Young, and he puts Aiden English on the list. So he puts Aiden English on the list, and he's like, you know what? Ronnie, you just made the list too. So for whatever reason, he put Ronnie or Renee Young on the list, and the segment really didn't add any value to the show, but it was just a funny little segment, and it was just a little dose of Chris Jericho before we saw him probably for the final time in a long time here tonight, and we will discuss that in further detail at the end of the review for the main event segment. Charlotte is interviewed about what happened last week, and she pretty much says that the welcoming committee just postponed the inevitable, her winning the women's championship, which it really is the inevitable if you fucking think about it. But the welcoming committee does show up again, and they beat the shit out of fucking Charlotte. They leave her laying on the ground, and we move to Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Naomi was supposed to team with Charlotte here tonight, but Charlotte was put out by the welcoming committee, and the match was a handicap, at least for most of it. Charlotte did not come out for the match after the attack, but midway through the match, she finally made her way out. She came down to the ring, and it was a tag team match, really. Nothing happened during the tag team match. In the end, what I did like about this segment is that the welcome was to look strong. They're actually building these women up. You know what? These women really aren't doing anything on Raw. The more established of the two teams is Naomi and Charlotte. They don't even need Becky Lynch added. That's just the more established of the two teams. Carmella really hasn't been doing nothing. Natalya really hasn't been doing anything. And Tamina just fucking came back for the first time in a year. So we need to establish these women, and that's exactly what they fucking did here tonight. James Ellsworth provides the distraction, and Carmella actually scores the roll-up with the tights, that is, on the women's champion. I don't like the fact that the women's champion is being pinned, but I mean, Carmella's gotten a pin over the women's champion. I don't fucking know. After the match, this is probably the most interesting part here. After the match, a brawl breaks out with Naomi and Charlotte being taken out until Becky Lynch comes down to the ring to make the decision on whether or not she will join this welcoming committee. And it looks like Becky was about to join. She shakes the hands of Carmella, Tamina. She actually hugs Natalya, and as she gets to James Ellsworth, it looks like she's about to hug him, takes him, shoves him into Tamina, actually takes advantage for a little while, but in the end, the committee stands strong. They take out Becky Lynch, hit her with that super kick, and the committee is looking pretty strong, at least for now. Hopefully, This will lead to a 6-woman tag at Backlash. I mean, it's very easy to fucking build. You can put 1 week Becky Lynch versus Tamina, next week Charlotte versus this girl, blah, 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 blah. Just put in a bunch of mixed matches and get there till Backlash, and I'm sure this will be a damn good 6-woman tag, and it will postpone Charlotte winning that women's championship right away, because you know, as soon as this shit is over, Charlotte's going to get her rematch and she's going to beat Naomi, but you want to give Naomi at least a little bit of a fucking title reign. So, I mean, you're trying to just postpone Charlotte winning as long as you can to give Naomi that more lengthy reign. I mean, if 2 or 3 months is a lengthy reign to you, you do you, but I mean, they're doing something pretty decent here. They're building up Tamina, they're building up Natalya, they're building up Carmella. They're doing all that good stuff. They're trying to get these women in a prominent role, and they're putting them against the top 3 women, the established women on the roster, Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi. So that's what they're doing there. They're not going to come out on fucking top, but it's going to be very interesting to see where they take this, no doubt about it. And you're really doing a good thing here. And you're postponing Charlotte winning the fucking championship, which is a very smart thing to do, and I like it. I do not mind this feud, and it's going to be very interesting to see where they take this. Maybe they can take this in a different direction. I don't know, but whichever way you go, you know that by the end of it, after Backlash, Charlotte's going to get her rematch for that women's championship, and that very next match that Charlotte and Naomi have for that women's championship, no doubt about it, Charlotte will win. So that's what I'm fucking telling you there. We go to Sin Cara versus Dolph Ziggler. This was a decent match. Sin Cara was wearing a terrible fucking blue attire, and I don't know who the fuck made that one. Jesus fucking Christ, looked terrible. But the match itself was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. Obviously very athletic. Sin Cara flying all over the place, springboard back elbows. He went for a lion saw at one point. Yeah, that's what actually happened in the end. In the end, Ziggler got the knees up when Sin Cara wanted to go for the lion saw, and that allowed Ziggler, once Sin Cara got up, to hit the super kick. Very anticlimactic ending, the way Ziggler hits that super kick. I mean, the way Shawn Michaels used to hit it, just out of nowhere, there would be a fucking series of maneuvers, just fast-paced maneuvers, and then out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels would just hit that fucking super kick. Pow! 1, 2, 3. Or Shawn Michaels would get in a series of moves, and then he'd charge up that sweet chin music. Bah! Stomp! 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 And the crowd is going with it. And eventually, bah! Super kick. 1, 2, 3. Ziggler just, bah! Hits it. 1, 2, 3. Just really no impact under Ziggler's super kick, because he's really not doing anything to build up the finisher. You really want to build up the spot towards that finisher. Ziggler really did not do that, but it's a nice match here. I wish that it would have gone longer, of course. That's the fucking flaw of the matchup. That's what didn't make it a groundbreaking affair by any means, and it was pretty decent. It was pretty fucking decent. So, what else do I have to say about it? Not much. Ziggler, obviously, just keeping busy until next week, where Nakamura is back, and he can directly feud with Nakamura from there. So there you fucking go with that one. The Fashion Police were in a segment here tonight. So this is all we saw of the tag teams here tonight, by the way. But they were in a segment here tonight called The Fashion Files, where they went through the files of the Usos, or according to Tyler Breeze, the Uggos. They went through the files of the Uggos. They charged them with multiple unfashionable felonies. They walk around the backstage thinking they're the shit. They're jaywalking, apparently, according to the fucking Fashion Police. They used to have an ugly dance, bam, ticket, this, that, and they had their own fucking nice little room where they did the segment. It was a cool segment here, and they pretty much confirmed what we already knew. The tag team title match will go on at Backlash on May 21st. So that's what the Fashion Police was trying to get across here, and they did. Pretty nice segment there. I just wish we would have seen more of the fucking tag teams here tonight. Build up that tag team division that so desperately needs to be built up. I mean, American Alpha really hasn't been doing anything big. Primo and Epico can certainly be built up. The New Day we have not seen yet. And you got the Usos and, what do you call them? The Usos and the Fashion Police. So there you fucking go. Looking pretty decent for SmackDown Live, at least for now. I'm super glad that they're giving the Fashion Police the chance to shine. And that was a great segment. I just wish we would see them in a match. That'd be fucking great. But anyways, we move on to Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, your main event segment here tonight. This was a good match. Not better than the one they had at Payback, but certainly better than the one they had at WrestleMania. I mean, the thing that really didn't make this match revolutionary by any means, if you ask me, was the fact that we've seen this match before, and we saw this match 2 fucking days ago, and you really lost your excitement for this rivalry and for this feud when Kevin Owens lost the United States Championship to Chris Jericho, and he really shouldn't have. And tonight just proved that. It ended when Owens hit Jericho with a super kick and a DDT on the concrete part of the ramp. After that, another super kick in the ring and a pop-up powerbomb, and that did the job. Owens won back the United States Championship, which makes you wonder why he even fucking lost it, man. That's what my concern was on Payback. Why the fuck did he lose the championship in the first place? That's just you with your 50-50 booking, and this is a prime example of it too. That's just WWE with their 50-50 booking, and their 50-50 booking, if I could fucking formulate another thought here, that would be fucking great. With the 50-50 booking and just the flip-flopping of championships. There you fucking go. The flip-flopping of championships is just terrible. I mean, you're flip-flopping. But yeah, as I fucking get a notification there, Kevin Owens regains the U.S. title with a pop-up powerbomb. I don't care, Bleacher Report. Jesus Christ. Anyways, you fucking have these titles being flip-flop. I don't think any of these past titles that we've seen, any title on the WWE, the person holding it, I don't think has been champion for 3 months. What title can you look at besides the Cruiserweight Championship and Neville that there's a champion that's been holding the title for more than 3 months? I can name the Cruiserweight Championship, Raw Women's Championship, no. The United States Championship, no. Dean Ambrose, when the fucking Dean Ambrose even win the Intercontinental title? I think Dean Ambrose is another exception, and I think that's pretty much it. Dean Ambrose and Neville, those are your only champions who have held their titles over 3 months, which makes no fucking sense to me why you are flip-flopping titles so often. I mean, Jericho won the title 2 fucking days ago. Why did you ever even need to take it off Owens in the first place? Here's your answer. You didn't. You fucking didn't. Answering my own questions over here. I'm a fucking genius, aren't I? But, I mean, it just makes no fucking sense to me. And, after the match, it was actually pretty fucking brutal. Owens hit Jericho with 2 more pop-up power bombs for good measure. It looks like he's about to be escorted for the back. Seeing that Owens was done, and they were going to end off the show with a thank you Jericho and Jericho's last hurrah. He's going to be here in the WWE for the last time in a while. But no, Owens came back another time and injured Jericho even further when he put his head in between a steel chair and sent Jericho straight into the ring post. So in the end here, Jericho did put over Kevin Owens one last time. Probably not going to see him on SmackDown again. Or should I say, just because we're talking about Chris Jericho again. But we're probably not going to see him on SmackDown again. He's probably left to tour with his band Fozzy, and I understand that. I just don't understand why Kevin Owens had to lose the United States Championship. I mean, did you that desperately need a main event for SmackDown here tonight? that you needed to book Chris Jericho to win at Payback and lose here tonight and have a 2-day United States title reign? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Was that really necessary? You couldn't have come up with any other main event on a show where you have AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger, Baron Corbin just waiting to fucking step in the ring. You couldn't have come up with any other main event. Instead, you gotta devalue and flip-flop the United States title and make Kevin Owens look like shit after only holding the United States title for a fucking month. So that really pissed me off. The attack after the show was brutal and I liked it, and thank God Owens did win back the United States Championship soon. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, there was really nothing else on SmackDown Live here tonight. That will be your SmackDown Live review for here tonight. If I had to give it a rating, it'd probably be a 5, 5.5. Really nothing too exciting here. Very mediocre show here tonight on SmackDown Live. I hope you enjoyed everything that you've heard here in this review. Just a decent show. It's going to be interesting to see what they do next week. Because, again, both these fucking shows, flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. Both Raw and SmackDown. This week is good. This week is bad. This week is good. This week is bad. This week, SmackDown was on the worst side of that spectrum. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything that you have heard here. For now, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go check out everything else on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Like I said at the beginning of the review, Raw, SmackDown reviews every single week. If you enjoyed what you heard here, make sure to leave a like and make sure to comment. What did you think of SmackDown Live here tonight? Did you think of it as boringly as I did? Or did you enjoy SmackDown? Or did you think it was a terrible fucking show? Tell me in the comment section below. And hit that subscribe button. Welcome me into your committee of subscriptions. So make sure to do that for the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. It really does help out. I know it is a very small YouTube channel, but if you subscribe, you're just helping me out and you're starting the movement. Be one of the fucking first. And of course, make sure to go check out everything else on the channel. Twitter account, I really didn't tweet with SmackDown here tonight, but I do tweet on that Twitter account if you want to be up to date with everything that has to do with the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Not only subscribe, not only hit that notification bell on YouTube, but make sure to go follow the Twitter account as well. I usually do tweet along with the WWE shows, so make sure to go check out all that good stuff. For now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video.